Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Today's topic is very important, one of the most important topic in which a lot of people are still not aware of it. Yeah, in fact, people have been misinterpreting the who Allah is, yeah, or the Quran itself. Because sometimes when you read certain translations, for example, Ayatul Kursi, yeah, people put Kursi as power. Some people with a wrong or different Aqeedah, they put Kursi, the chair or the stool, as power because they refuse to believe these elements that should exist as a word itself. They replace it with something like a equivalent to it. So we had the qalam, the pen of Allah, they interpret it differently, right? So we're going to cover more towards the basic first, and when that's time we are comparing to different kinds of aqidah in which we have to be very well aware of. Whether you're in Egypt, you're in Malaysia, and all this, they're a bit different, right? So we are going to follow who has the best aqidah, who has the best. I mean, the best aqidah are the ones, the first three generations. That's not as we have to try to follow them, of course, because they're the best, right? We cannot follow Pakistanis or Malaysians, Indonesians. They completely has no, perhaps has diluted the aqidah. Yes, we're going to come across this, inshallah. All right. So that's why we have to come cover the basics of aqidah first, yeah, in order for us to understand. This should be the very first talk that any new Muslim especially should understand, because it will completely damage your idea of who Allah is if you do not know what it means, right? So Asama, Aqidah means is, yes, a decree, something that is, the root is aqadah, which means to tie or to bind firmly your belief, your sets of belief which we must have, right? Because this is more important than your Islam practice itself. Because how do I know that all of us are accountable on the day of judgment? What is the day of judgment? How do we know that the angels that will write down our good and bad deeds? How do we know about the angels that is going to take away our life, our soul when we die? Yeah, but most important, of course, about Allah, right? That we do not know who Allah is. There's a lot of people, for example, because they believe this it's not just belief, right? Believe with great certainty. Like today must be a Thursday, right? That certainty. If you don't believe in certainty, then you might be have problems. For example, accepting the Quran. Yeah, when Allah said about the Quran, about, for example, in the wearing hijab, for example, in the rules and do's and don'ts in the Quran, you might have problems in believing what Allah said. Yeah, so it is very important that we go through this in detail, right? That every this is, as I said, if we believe in Allah, believe in their judgment with certainty, surely we have to prepare for their judgment, right? So something in which we have to understand that the core of elements of the aqidah of the belief is from the Quran and authentic hadith, nothing else. Yeah, because we'll find later about in the 10th century, 11th century, a new form of aqidah arose. This is the Ashari. In and the sixth, there's another new kinds of what they call it, aqidah that has arose, which we have to be very careful, right? So which hadith does it come across the most famous hadith regarding aqidah about iman? Okay, no, there's no aqidah, but the hadith of Jibril alayhi salam when he came. Yeah, when he came, if read about the hadith, it's very beautiful hadith about how Jibril alayhi salam came as a man with very white clothes, very black hair, which is unheard of because if you were in the desert, you will never find such a person with nice white clothes, super, because your hair will be definitely a lot of sand in the hair with the wind of the desert. Yeah, but he came and then he asked the questions to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah, so what did he ask? What is Islam, Iman, and Ihsan. And the Sahaba was sitting around him. They were very surprised because usually it's the other way, right? Is Prophet Muhammad will ask them, but now he asked Prophet Muhammad to explain about Islam, Iman, and this is where we talked about the 6 articles of faith, which all of us must truly understand. The first one is believe in Allah, right? As in Tawheed. Yeah, and this is very important because a lot of people completely do not understand this. Here, many people say, fortunately, luckily, right? Everything is against Tawheed. Yeah, touch wood, yeah? Fingers crossed that you heard many of your Muslim friends are saying. Yeah, so Tawheed, we have to understand about the 3 branches of Tawheed. Yeah, that definitely, first of all, of course, the existence of Allah. How do you have anybody was an atheist before?
Atheist.
It's difficult to understand how an atheist can exist. Agreed? Why? Sorry?
Wouldn't have it.
Because even within us, there is this. What's the word in Arabic?
Fitra.
Fitra, the natural inclination to understand about God, about Allah. Agreed? That we understand that all of us have met Allah before anyway, right? Whether we remember or not, that's a different story. But we have been in the Quran stated very clearly, we have met Allah. We even have promised Allah to recognize Him as our Rabb. Yeah, which surah again?
Haram.
7172. Right? When Allah swiped Adam's back and all of us came out and we declared, yeah, when Allah asked us, am I not your Rabb? He said, yes, we bear witness that you are our Rabb. And Allah warned us on the day of judgment, do not say you're not aware of this. Yeah. So we have been given this fitrah to know, even us as a baby, right? Where's God? In anybody will always say, oh my God, right? OMG. There must be an element of God in our lives, right? There's no such thing as an atheist. How did you, when you before you became Muslim yourself, how did you perceive God? Everywhere. Yeah. God is in everything. Okay. Irish, same, yeah. I Catholic, we're Catholics, different, but same concept, right? So there is an element of God at least, yeah. But how it's supposed to be is very different. Which surah is the one to explain everything? The best surah regarding, or even the best verses about Tawheed is Al Ikhlas. Yeah. How was it revealed?
I think there was a festival when the Kuffar Quraysh, like each of them were like describing their God, who their God is, and then they come to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they say, "Oh, describe to us who your God is."
Yes. Yep. So the Quraysh were boasting about their gods. My God is Lat, my God is Uzza. The one, and then after a minute or so, they turned to the Prophet ﷺ and asked, "Oh Muhammad, so tell us, who is your God?" Immediately was revealed, Qul, saying, Huwallahu ahad, He is Allah. What is Allah? If you break the Allah, what does it mean? Al Ilah, which means the one you are supposed to be worshipping, right? The one. So Al Ilah. Allah, say He is Allah, the one and only. Allahu Samad, He is eternal, a few meaning self-sufficient master, right? You do not need to maintain Him. Yeah, but completely our maintenance is 100% from Him. Everything from seeing, from breathing, everything we rely on Allah. Yeah. Um, Allahu Samad, Lam Yalid wa Lam Yulad. He wasn't born, neither can He give birth. Wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. There's no equivalent to Him. Was Jesus born? Yes, He was born. So they cannot be Allah. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan. There's no equivalent to Him. Was Isa alayhi salam, was he a human? Does he breathe? Does he eat? Yes. Yeah. So nothing must be equivalent to Allah's creations. The cow. Is it? Yeah. This is want to make fun of you, so right? Cows are cows. It's Allah's creations, right? They cannot be God. No matter how many arms there are, with the what do you call it, elephant's face and the 8 arms and all this, they're still arms. They're still elephants, right? So you cannot tell them or tell us that they are God. It must be something which we never would have imagined. How would Allah look on the day, or when we see them in Jannah? Can Allah, would all we see, can all of us, everybody can see Allah on the day of judgment? Only those in paradise can see Allah, can have the privilege. What was the hadith? Okay, then what happened?
And then it will be like it will be Friday, then we're in a supermarket, and then each of us look handsome. Then
Yeah, but before that, Allah would ask us. Yeah, so Allah would ask us something like, "Are you pleased with where you are?" They say, "Yes, oh ya Allah, we are in paradise. Do you want to see more?" Right? Then Allah will lift up His veil, and we will see the most beautiful face that we've ever seen in our lives. Only reserved for those who deserve to see Allah. I'm sure all of us would want to imagine how Allah looks like, right? There must be there must be this urgency or this need to see our Creator, how He looks like. Even Musa alayhi salam wanted to see Allah, right? What did Musa alayhi salam do? Remember in the Quran? Yes, he was warned. He cannot see Allah. Musa can never see him, right? So and he look at the mountain, right? And then what happened? There was, yeah, because even the mountain couldn't take it. Right? Yes. Right? So all of us has this urgency or the need to see Allah. Only those whom Allah has invited and who has been selected in Jannah will meet Allah, no matter what levels you are. As you said, from the continue with the story, every Friday, right, we have an audience with Allah. All of us will sit. Some people will sit on the throne. Some people will sit on the chair. Some people will sit on benches. Some people will sit on the floor, right? But nobody would say, "I'm not on the throne." You know, low quality, low class. Right? Never. There won't be any sense of pride or arrogance. Right? Everybody will love each other. Like now, right? Honestly, right? If somebody were to sit in a throne, somebody is poor. There's always this arrogance and this pride. Yeah. Can you imagine? No, can you imagine that the person you think that this person doesn't pray well, has a short beard, right? And doesn't do sunnah, and then you see the person on the throne. You never know because brothers, you do not know what person did behind our back. And the thing that is most rewarded are the ones that is concealed. They conceal from others the secret. Remember, like the person whom Prophet Muhammad, Abu Hurairah refused to pray the janazah prayer. Right, the person was drinking a lot. This man was drinking a lot. Even when he died, when the sister went to Abu Hurairah, "Can you please pray janazah for him?" Abu Hurairah said, "What did he do before he died?" No, usual. He was drink. Then he said, Abu Hurairah said, "No, I would not do the janazah prayer." So that night he slept and he dreamt. He dreamt that this man was about to enter Jannah. And this man said, "Tell Abu Hurairah, only Allah judge." So when the next morning he woke up, Abu Hurairah woke up, anhu, when he woke up, he went to the sister quickly. "What else did he do?" And he said every Friday he would visit the orphans and he would feed the orphans and he would take care of the orphans. Not many of us would do that, right? Because we're so busy, right? People were going to Soho, people going to other places, sports, right? The gym, right? All your chats and all your TikToks and all this kind of. Nobody has time to go to will take care of the orphans in general for us. But some people will conceal themselves. They know they have a lot of sins, perhaps, and this is where Allah shows His mercy in the Jannah. So it's not our place in this life to judge anybody. Right? We can advise, of course, right? When a person is not praying well or is not doing the sunnah, we can always advise. But that's it. Our job is just to advise. Yeah. So coming back to this, subhanallah, the honor to meet Allah in Jannah is a huge honor, right? And it's something in which we make dua that all of us, that Allah allow all of us to meet Allah, yeah, in Jannah. Okay, so every Friday there will be a comment when after we go to markets, whether you're from different levels, you will meet at the market, and you always comment to each other, "I've never seen you so beautiful before," right? And if everyone else will comment about you, "I've never seen you so beautiful before." And every week, every Friday, every week, beauty will always be increased. There's no finite, there's no ending to your beauty. It will always be increased. Can you imagine? Right? It was because of Allah's light. When we meet Allah at the gathering, yeah, Allah's light will shine on all of us, and we always get beautiful because of Allah's light. And this is it, right? The fact that inshallah, with all our hard work, is it hard to be a practicing Muslim in London, in UK?
Not exactly. Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. It's not hard. I think there's struggles, pros and cons everywhere.
That's prawns first. But I think when you start working, it's a different story, and you start getting married, you will know the
Like here, you can
difficulties.
do dawah. In the Khalij, you can't do dawah.
Yeah,
There, you can hear the adhan. Here, you don't hear the adhan.
yeah,
Or remind you.
yeah,
There, they allow you to yeah, there they cover. Here, we don't.
yeah. So
There's
that,
pros and cons.
but at the end of the day, it is up to us, right, to make sure that we get Allah's guidance as much as possible. We have a freedom of choice. Agreed? You couldn't you did not be a Muslim at the end of the day, because if not, your life, in the sense that your life be easier, right, with your father and your relatives, they're trying to feed you to the vegetarian food and all this, right? But you made this choice, right, to become Muslim, right? Same thing. You could have had your choice, freedom of choice, to drink the Guinness every day after work, right? Do you miss it? Not at all,
It
right?
doesn't have to be said. You teach whatever do.
So again, it's a freedom of choice that we take that will determine the outcome in the hereafter. Perhaps I think for some people is a lot of sacrifice, but others is less sacrifice. Depends. I think depends on how much you are guided. Honestly, there are a few things that will determine how easy or difficult your life in this world. I think firstly depends on, as I said, your knowledge that you have. If you have more knowledge, and if you know how to please Allah, Allah will always make things easy for you. And even though you face difficulties, because as you know, the more knowledge you have, or the more high is your iman, the more tests you will get. But you still find life easy, because life, when an easy life doesn't mean you got no problems. You have problems, you're just contented with it, because with knowledge, all these tests, inshallah, will lead you to Jannah. And it's quite important to know this. Some people in Palestine, for example, right, they are suffering now, but for them, they're quite contented because they know that this will lead them to Jannah. How long they were going to live on this? Whereas somebody who is having so much money in his life, right, living in nice palaces or driving a nice car, right, in nice bridge, or the Arabs that you have, but for them, it's not enough still. They want more things, right? So this is when you have knowledge of Allah and you're contented with all Allah given us. That's the most important thing. Remember the phrase is saying that um if you chase the akhirah, the world will follow you. But if you chase the dunya only, you only get what you have been decreed about. Right? So it is important to know, have knowledge, enough knowledge to know how to get about things. So for example, right, if you know a deed that you do will lead to Jannah, would you do it? So for example, right, a 2 raka'ah after wudu, does it lead to Jannah? Yeah, of course, inshallah, through the hadith of Abu Bakr, right?
Bilal.
So Bilal, right? Surely you would want to do the 2 raka'ah after wudu. If you know, for example, the deeds that will protect us from hellfire, for example, doing 4 raka'ah before Dhuhr, 4 raka'ah after Dhuhr, surely you want to spend a few minutes to invest in time, in your precious time that you want to invest, that will lead you, inshallah, to be safe from the hellfire. If you know, for example, for a promise by Allah, if you do not associate anything with Allah, you will not be punished. From which hadith?
He did not associate anything of that won't be punished.
Yes.
Isn't it was from the three things that was
Yeah.
revealed
Yeah,
to
the
him?
Isra Miraj, right? The three things were revealed. The last verse of Al Baqarah, the Salah, and of course, this saying that if you do not associate anything with Allah, you will not be punished by Allah. Surely you would try your very best to understand what is Tawheed, which we're trying to do now. Right? So this is important that with knowledge that we have, inshallah, we will try, right? To Guinness?
No.
Sorry.
Same edition, man. Alright.
I know. Did that trigger some?
Hmm?
Did that trigger a reminder of the Guinness? All right. Right.
Two in the back.
So, so, so it is important, right, that we look at ourselves to see how prepared we are to face Allah with knowledge, inshallah, with what do you call it, with guidance of Allah. Because like it or not, yes, you may understand Arabic, you may recite Arabic all the time, but how much does that reflects in your character? Some of them not at all, right? So this is quite important that we look at the Quran. You need to seek guidance by understanding, and with Allah's guidance, you get to implement it. Not everybody get the same implementation, and even for us, right? Some days we implement, some oh, so lazy, can't be bothered, right? So even at certain times of the day, certain times of the year, our iman is very different, right? So we have to look at ourselves. How else we can get guidance? For example, um, attending classes, bringing good companions, right? All these gear up to inshallah with our preparations to face Allah. Yeah. So, but for sure, the most important knowledge that we must have is about Allah, because all of us are going to face Allah on the day of judgment. Surely, we want to know about Allah in all aspects, and the three aspects especially. The first one is rububiyah, yeah, tauhid al rububiyah, which all of us must understand. I can guarantee you, if you ask people of your culture, right, Egyptians, Eritreans, Sudan, Sudanese, are they this different? Yeah, sorry, uh, Yemenis, right, Moroccan especially, right? If you ask them about what does Rob means, many wouldn't know. Do you agree? People just say, just copy from what they read. Rob is Lord. You need to expand, because when you expand, then you know what it means, right? The creator, maintainer, sustainer, then a provider, protector, right? And then because it affects everything that you do in your job, for example, right? If you are delivering things, right? Are you allowed to deliver alcohol, for example, right? Um, because you will think that, well, I need this job, because if not, how am I supposed to pay the bills? I need to have wife to feed, parents to feed, family to feed. Then again, you forgot the one that provides is not this. It's not your boss. It is our Rob. Eventually, in which we made a promise to Allah, as we discussed just now. But who is our Rob? And we say it's Allah, not anybody else, right? If you see any restaurants in general, right, we beat Turkish, especially in central London, Moroccan restaurants, right, everywhere in the central city, very few restaurants are not selling alcohol. You agree? Most, some people, Moroccans even have belly dancers to attract the people.
In some places in Morocco, now they're selling pork.
I don't know. I was in Edinburgh, right, eating Moroccan restaurant. Then they dim the lights. Then the music and belly dancers came out, and I always get chosen. No, always.
Well, they called you up to dance.
Yeah, I was. Yusuf, even in a circus, right, in Scotland, right, this clown was a big circus in near St Andrews, right, in a tent, and this clown came around, volunteers, and stopped in front of me. I always get chosen, always. And I got to go to him, and then I got to do some silly things. So,
And it's in YouTube,
so,
yeah.
so,
And we watch it.
so annoying. Yeah. So coming back to this in relation to um, the choice that you make, do you trust Allah but make sure everything is halal, or do you put some spice in it, alcohol, right, in order to increase your income, knowing fully well, right, our Rob is Allah. And these are the things in your job, right? I even rejected clients who want me to lie for them. I tell them because of course Albanian, right? Uh, and I said very clearly, do you want me to go to hellfire for you, right? Because at the end of the day, brothers, you may get a lot of money, for example, with all these clients, and you know that their income may not be halal. Is it worth it that your dua is not answered? at all, even for a single day? No, of course not, because you might die on that day anyway. Yeah. So do be careful, right? In terms of choosing the type of work that you have in your company, perhaps, right? If you're located in Soho and you have all the girls surrounding you, I remember that work is seeming like I was working in a place in which all the receptions are girls, everything is a girl. We're wearing short because the employer wanted to uh, attract clients' attention by making the women wear short skirts and all this. So much so that we were upstairs, right? My one of our colleagues was working downstairs. He thought it's a prostitute den upstairs. And would you work in such a places that will perhaps, well, all of us are men, right? Um, which may be enticed to do things, and if you're not enticed, something must be wrong with you, right? So you do need to avoid, because from these places, because at the end of the day, if we trust our Rob is Allah, then Allah may open the doors of better things if you give up that kind of jobs, right? So it is your choice to ensure you recognize our Rob protection, for example, right? Some people are in tawiz to protect them. Some people are decorating the houses with all the Quranic verses to protect them. Even Saudis are nowadays are selling these bangles, no, with Ayatul Kursi to protect them. You put in your car, right? Allah signs to protect your car and all this.
Yeah, the whole sound is just what sounds in.
It's not me, it's you. So we have to look at ourselves whether we understand Allah. It's quite different with believing completely that Allah controls everything, and they just say Allahu Akbar, for example. When you say Allahu Akbar in your salah, what do you actually mean? Right? Is it from the mouth, or you actually means Allah is the greatest? Right? Because if you are doubting and you're committing sins and you have all these doubts that who's going to put money on the plate, then you do not know who Allah is. And that is Aqeedah for you, right? That you completely understand that Allah controls everything, right? That He is the one, without His will, nothing can happen, right? And therefore, when we do things to please Allah, now that let us be careful about this, right? Doesn't mean that we understand Tawhid, everything will be perfect for us. Sometimes Allah wants to put us into many tests in order for us to what? To be purified, right? To be humble, to ask Allah more, right? Yusuf, we didn't have a job for a few months, right? Alhamdulillah. And in that months, I'm sure, right, you may have done things that improve your iman, right? To be in more halakas, to read the Quran and all this, to improve your knowledge, right? And this is sometimes when people give us this, this rest, right, from work, it should improve our iman. You should put more trust in all this. There's always a reason why Allah put us into such tests, right? Adam, right? Uh, did you feel that in these few months after graduation, do you feel that your knowledge increased and all this? You have to, right? And you haven't went to Umrah and all this, yeah? Invited by Allah, and it's one of the hardworking people in Umrah. I know, right? So after the Umrah, Alhamdulillah, he did another tawaf sunnah. I will, Alhamdulillah, Allah barik, right? So these are the things in which you yourself need to completely trust Allah, right? Understand Allah completely in terms of His rububiyah. Questions? Questions?
Who's going Umrah?
So,
Who's going Umrah?
so there's no such thing as feng shui. There's no such thing as positive negative forces. There's no such thing as the lucky color. There's no such thing as Friday the 13th. Right? Everything happens the will of Allah. Right? Some people would celebrate birthday, right? Some Muslims even, right? They blow candles, they make a wish because they want to follow, right? You see a shooting star, oh, make a wish, right? Did you do that last time when you were in the Kufa days? Did you?
We're Africans, we're not. We have our own
Yeah.
problems.
Sorry, there's no star.
So we're Africans, we have our own problems.
Oh. Yeah. Did you celebrate birthdays when you're small, younger? Did you make a wish? Yeah. See, you wish I'm alhamdulillah Muslim now. Dua answered, right? But and this is quite important that to understand, right? About well, sorry to say this, I need to bring Moroccans inside this picture, right? That you can never find a place, at least for me, right, in the market worse than in Morocco, right, and perhaps in Egypt, right, one of the worst markets. So these people had the in thinking that to cheat means you bring more money, right? Not knowing, first of all, it has been decreed for us. Our provisions, our risk have been decreed. So, do you think that they understand who Allah is? No, completely not. Because for them, the cheating and the lying are the one who give them more money, right? And I'm sure you saw all the YouTube videos where the person was pretending to be foreigner. He charged so much money, and he spoke the language of the perhaps the Egyptian or the Moroccans local. The price came down tenfold down, and you saw this.
Even there was a video recently, a guy, I don't know which country was it, but then he went to the supermarket and asked for something. And he asked for water, and they give him a price. And then when he get out, he asked one of the locals there, how much is the water? And then they gave him another glass, and he was like, oh, the owner says something like that. He said, don't worry, give me that money. He went and he gave him the water with. The owner told the foreign the water, its price was 3 times more than its original.
Mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. But and in general, I'm not talking all of it. In general, you go to Camden Market, right? You can trust them in a sense, right? They won't give you 3 times, perhaps a bit more expensive, but 2 3 pounds more than the other customers. So that cheating and lying is much less in general, of course, in a non-Muslim country than a Muslim country. How can I explain that, Belfasi?
And you know what's funny? Morocco, and in our notes, there's a ayah that says, وَيْلٌ لِلْمُطَفِّفِينَ.
Oh, subhanallah.
Yeah,
The irony of it,
yeah. So imagine
right? It was just so good,
it's wants to cheat, like charity scheme.
Yeah, that's so good, right? And because again, we discussed before so many times in this class about history always repeat itself. Be LGBT, being the cheaters, liars, and all this, always repeating itself, right? I think today, especially with the economic condition, people are cheating more, right? I'm sure you saw all these YouTube videos about people coming in a scammer company. They call it scammers. They call these people in India or whatever it is, right?
All the
Scammers. They got video on this kind of thing, right? So can you imagine? Okay, let's put in a very blunt way, right? Some people likes to buy fake goods, right? Or bursting. Some people actually selling fake goods. Now, do you think it's allowed to sell fake goods?
huh?
Fake, so fake Burberry, fake.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, if you put I did not don't put complete certainty and complete confidence, you won't make a single mistake. Yeah. In terms of Allah's, okay, we talk about later about Aqidah, about some of the I think others, well, the some from Aqidah, they believe that Allah does not have eyes, does not Ashari, right? This one does not have ears, right? It cannot be, right? But we as a Al Sunnah wa Jama'ah, Aqidah of the Athari, called Athari or Salaf, yeah, we must believe Allah. We take it as it is. We don't question. Remember, walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. That means it's not like your eyes and my eyes. So when Allah travels from in the middle of the night, last of the night, from the throne, from the arsh to the lowest heaven, we don't question how do you travel, how far is the distance, right? How long does it take? We just accept as it is. So the more we're going to go talk about in detail, inshallah, right? So this is, and the last one, of course, is Tawhid al-Uluhiyah, which we must completely understand. We worship Allah only. When we say in our Al-Fatiha, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, only to you we worship, only to you we seek help. And yet you see in Egypt, right, people are flocking to the, what do you call it, Imam Hussein's grave every day. Have you been there before? You'd be shocked. Just next to Al-Azhar.
Very, very bad.
It's so I was unbelievable. Like I see people flocking that, and people are not doing anything to stop them in terms of, because at the end of the day, this is called amar ma'ruf nahi munkar, right? You're enjoying good for people. You have to do this, right? Even in the Masjid Nabawi, right? When you saw this, people making dua facing the Prophet's grave, right? So the Qibla is that they think they turn this way. Yes. No, like let's say this let's say this is the Qibla, right? It's facing this way, right? So the grave is there. I'm standing here, for example, right? So people will face there. But of course, people standing behind will face exactly the Prophet's grave, right? So they can try to trick, they can stand there. But you can see literally, I'm not I'm not talking about one or two. Many people will go there. Alhamdulillah, the Saudi police will always, or the sheikh would always warn them, yeah, away. Because all right. Yeah. So these are the things in which we only worship Allah, right? We only make dua to Allah. How many times have I heard people say, Ya Ali, this, Ya Rasulullah, and I'll make dua, right? Sorry? Ya Hussein, yeah, and all this. Yeah, so it's unbelievable how much they change the deen, how much they don't understand Iyyaka na'budu, Iyyaka nasta'in. Because if you understand that word, it's very simple, right? You only worship Allah. You don't worship anything else, right? And some people make the mosque, they bury the pious ones underneath in the mosque, just like the Christians. They imitate completely the Christians. Right? They need to be buried somewhere holy, not knowing that we can't even pray with in the you can pray in any church as long as there's no grave underneath, right? Because sometimes the churches are empty, right? And then you want to go there. Yes, so you have to be careful in that, right? So whoever, so from Sahih Muslim, Prophet Muhammad SAW said, whoever dies knowing that there is no God but Allah will enter paradise. But there's always a caveat. The key to Jannah has its ridges. So, like, for example, can you use your car key to enter the house? No. You must have a specific key that fits into this key to Jannah. So, not all of us have keys, but not every key can open the door, right? So, that must fit perfectly into Tawheed. Are there a lot of people doing shirk in Morocco, Sudan? Okay, no questions. A lot. So that's why I cannot emphasize more about understanding this first, what do you call it, articles of faith, which is belief in Allah first. You have to understand Tawheed. That's the core of our belief that we must understand. Any mistake will lead us to hellfire completely. Remember, there are also two shirk, asghar, and akbar. Asghar means minor shirk. Both die upon that shirk, whether minor or major, will lead to hellfire. It's either one is permanent or whether one is temporary, right? So especially social media are easy for us to fall into this trap of showing off our deeds, our efforts. Yeah, so do be careful about this. Questions before we move on? Clear? So you won't go to any mountains, right?
No. What about those people that do it? They do it unconsciously. They don't know their actual shirk.
Now, do you think they will excuse Akram on the day of judgment? They did not know.
I mean, they didn't.
No, you're living in this world, right? Where you say every day, Ihdina siratal mustaqim, and somehow Allah guides whomever He wills. You have the ability to change, but a lot of people follow the majority or follow the culture. Agree? Do you agree? It's not easy to dissociate from the culture, no? Very difficult. But you have no choice because it has been written in the Quran. وَإِن تُطِعْ أَثَرَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ يُضِلِّكَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ إِن يَتِبِينَ إِنْهُمْ يَخْرُسُونَ. Right? If you obey most of those on the earth, they will mislead you far away from Allah's path. They do nothing but guessing. They do nothing but lie. Surah number 6, verse number 116. Again, everything has been informed in the Quran. You see, it's whether you want to follow or not, right? And even a parent example. Can you read for me Surah number 5, verse number 104? Okay, 5104. Yes.
And when it said to them, come to what Allah revealed and unto the
Yep.
Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they say, enough is for us that which we found our fathers following, even though their fathers had no knowledge whatsoever and no guidance.
Yes. In an article recently in Malaysia, they clearly stated that they only follow the Ashari.
Yeah.
They clearly said, whatever things that people do in the past, we will follow them. We do not want to change, and we don't want people to change what we practice. Clearly, they said, right? So,
Where is it?
one article that I saw, somebody forward to me,
Yeah, in which country is it?
Malaysia,
Ah,
right? So, once the practice of forefathers, they completely followed, and it's not. This is not. It's not how it is supposed to be, right? Because Allah said, "Qul nahbitu minha jami'a fa imma ya'tiyanakum min hudan faman tabi'a hudaya fala khawfun 'alaihim wa la hum yahzanun." Surah number 2 verse number 38. When Allah drove Adam out of paradise, he said, "Get down all of you from this place, but there will come to you on the earth guidance from me." From who? From Allah. Whoever follows my guidance, repeat again, upon them shall have no grief, nor shall they fear. How can things that you follow from your grandfather, grandmother be guidance from Allah? It's not. Islam is not about taqlid. Taqlid means
yeah.
blind following. You have to see. Even I changed so many things about these things I did. We used to practice stuff a lot, the Prophet's birthday and all this,
You
right?
see the spider on the cave.
That's not practice. That's belief. Yeah, we used to do many things, but as we go along, and this is when Subhanallah, I can guarantee you, right? Allah will guide if you sincerely seek Allah's guidance. What's the word? The verse? Alladina tadaw zadahum huda wa atam taqwahum. Surah number 47, verse number 17. Right? Those who seek guidance, Allah will increase the guidance, and upon them they shall be granted taqwa. If you are sincere, surely, perhaps Abu Talib, Prophet's uncle, he's doing things because even when they were boycotted no, for so long, together with the rest of Prophet Muhammad, and Abu Talib also was boycotted. He was protecting not because of Allah, but because of tribal cohesion, right? Tribal unity. They will do everything for the tribes. If somebody kill you, your tribe, you will make sure the person is killed, whoever it is, right? This is how it was. So your intention is very important. Whether you are, I have a few people, Yusuf, the reverse, who married somebody and they became Muslim, right? And the wife just said, "Don't worry, all right? You just need to observe. That's it." And this person went all the way, right? Practice Islam properly. And then the wife came up to me and said, "Actually, I just want him to just pray twice a day only. But he's praying 5 times a day. He's doing more, he's doing more than necessary for the wife. How can it be? Because this clearly shows that when you are sincere, Allah guide you completely. And you in Trawi, I remember Trawi prayer, right? I was in this mosque. I said to him, "Go pray behind. Then you can leave after 2 rakah." And then he was just beside me in the mosque. Brother Zach, which I'm going to meet yesterday, tomorrow, with his family. He's American. He works in Dubai. Uh, 3 beautiful children. When he first got married, he hated Islam. He hated Islam. Then slowly, I don't know what happened, right? He just sought Allah's guidance, and now, subhanallah, children, he went to Umrah so many times. The children, you can imagine 5 years old boy with the ihram attire, so cute, went to Umrah together and all
So
this.
he lives here on Dubai.
He lives in Dubai. He's going to visit us. Sorry, on holiday, inshallah. Yes, right. So this is it. I think to answer that's how to answer. I hope it answers the question. There's no such thing as you do not know. If you sincerely seek Allah's guidance, you would not do things that will anger Allah. So, for example, Allah promised us, right? Inna salata tanha anil fahsya wal munkar. The prayer will prevent immoralities and disobedience to Allah. This is Allah's promise, no? So that means if a person is praying or claim to pray 5 times a day and are still having zina with a woman, for example, which is not uncommon, We have a Singapore, a very rich island, rich country, and yet next to it, very next to it, very near is Indonesia. People go there for all this prostitution and all this. It's not uncommon, right? That means something must be wrong surely with your salah. Allah do not accept your salah, right? So let's not give excuses to ourselves. At the end of the day, if you are sincere for the prayer for their judgment, you will read the Quran as it is. Agreed? Because doesn't make sense, right? You read the Quran, al yauma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atamtu lakum ni'mati wa raditu lakum Islam madinat. This day I perfected religion for you. I completed my favors upon you. I have chosen Islam as yours. That means Islam was complete. Then suddenly this ustaz came up with some new things. You just followed. That means you don't understand what you're reading. Agreed? So very important whether it is Arabic speakers, non-Arabic speakers, it's the same. You read the Quran in order to get guided by the Quran. Even for me, when in my tahajjud, I always say, I make dua in my own language. Ya Allah, make me understand the Quran. Make me understand the tafsir behind the Quran. Make me the Quran give me shifa, shafa, and hidayah, guidance. That's very important. I ask Allah myself in my tahajjud sincerely to Allah, and hopefully Allah answer my dua, inshallah. Right? Okay, so Tauhid al-uluhiyah, al-rububiyah, asma sifat, and al-uliyah. Any questions? That's why I know this topic is very long, right? Because it's very important for me or for us to really understand what is Tawheed. This is not the first time.
What's the topic on Saturday?
Not set yet. No, that's next week. Yeah.
You should have told me this week, so then you go there and then you'll come to your lesson.
I think this topic will have to become next week, inshallah, right? Especially begin the getting different Aqeedah, which we must know, right? Next one, they believe in the angels, right? Create angels are creations of Allah that can never disobey Allah. So for people, okay, some people, Muslims, even thought that Iblis was a fallen angel, right? Following the Christians' practice, right? Angel will not disobey Allah completely, but they can initiate things, right? They are not that you press button and they work. No, it's not. They can initiate. When Yusuf Alaihissalam was put in the well, Iblis just catch him, right? Astaghfirullah, Jibril.
Abdurrahman, if he wants to share.
What is this? Do you believe in Iblis? What is it?
No,
What's
should we listen to Iblis?
Yeah. Now, so and this is the first thing, right? So in terms of the fire, right? Ibrahim alayhi salam in the fire, even Jibril is his own initiative. Allah did not program him to go to his own initiative, right? He went to ask whether he needs help. Ibrahim alayhi salam in Taif. It was a volunteer of the Jibril alayhi salam to ask him, "Do you want the angels of the angel of mountains to destroy you?" Right? So the angels can make their own initiative, but they can never disobey Allah, right? This is important. We believe in all the angels with certainty, right? That the angels are the one who is all like Allah's little soldiers assisting Allah. Does Allah need the two angels to tell us on their judgment that we are wrong and we are right? Not need these two angels, but this for our sake. Because all of us we always need books, right, to verify what have I done. When your bills, right? Bills, make sure it's just correct. Same thing as our good deeds. Everything be written down. What would the disbelievers say on the day of judgment? Okay.
وقالوا يا ويلنا ما لهذا الكتاب
لا يغادر صغيرة إلا أحصاها ووجدوا معهم الحذر ولا يظلم ربك أحدا. What kind of book is this? Everything big or small is written there, and they will find whatever they did presented before them. So everything will be on the day of judgment written down. Can you imagine? That's why Imam Ahmad, before he died, he was mourning. He was saying, "Oh, ah." The son advised him, right? Father, whatever things that you did or say, we written down. Why don't you say something that is not more beneficial? And he did, and he died after that. So very important, right, that we understand the angels. How many angels do you have surrounding us? Which one?
Front, back, two.
The front and back? Where? From which surah?
what happened?
How many angels are surrounding us? In everybody? 13. This is like a cartoon, no?
In the morning.
No, it's not
What,
now. Is it?
wait.
So right, left. The one front, one back. It's round number 13 was number 11. Right? There's angels for number to protect us. Sometimes you do not know. No? If without these angels, of course, without Allah, of course, with Allah's help,
13, 11.
13, 11 is the first part. Right? Perhaps we will move faster and we hit by a car. Something happened. We prevent us from being hit by the car. We do not know. Yeah. A few things, right? Even some people miss the in India Air India accident, right? They miss the flight. Yeah, people, right? Right? Yeah, one guy survive, right?
If he doesn't become Muslim, what a waste.
So honestly, right? The meaning of that. One of my the first Muslim I helped to become Muslim, alhamdulillah. So before it was my classmate, right? It was the first person in steps to Allah. So before that, he got a girlfriend. After Muslim, he broke up the girlfriend. No, no more girlfriend. Completely break off, right? But before that, the girlfriend was in the trains in the 777 event. 77 was an event in which there was a lot of bombs in London.
Is it like 9/11?
Yes, at London's 9/11, right? And this girl was ex-girlfriend was inside the carriage. So she was walking through all the dead bodies and all this, and yet, as I said, she still didn't become Muslim after being given a second chance by Allah, right? And this is how it is. Allah gets whatever He wills. But some people, of course, they look at it as a new turning point, want to see who is Allah is it,
Yeah,
alhamdulillah.
that probably gave
Right?
like wasn't the 7/7 caused by terrorists?
Yeah,
Muslim. Probably gave like a bad impression of Islam.
perhaps. But again, Allah gets whatever He wills at the end of the day.
Suffered a lot of things, and some of them became Muslim.
Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Because they will eventually see that it wasn't caused by the Islamic teaching itself, but it
Yeah,
was caused
because
by the
because
misinterpretation of Islam.
yeah, so most of many people would want to find out what is Islam,
Mhm.
right? And especially with the Palestinian event, right? A lot of people become Muslims. I can see after that, subhanallah, a lot of YouTube channels evolve, right? With all these, especially in America, the girls will talk about, oh, I found out this verse. It's very amazing. And the worst part is that the funny part is that none of us, or even Muslims in Saudi, ever say that. No, they just keep the Quran to themselves, and they never share things that they think so important. Whereas the Westerners are actually more open, or more trying to share their thoughts. And when I saw one of them, a few of them, I said, "Oh, this is going to be Muslim. This is going to be Muslim." I know that they're going to be Muslim, right? Actually, one of them became Muslim. One of them called Megan.
What's Megan?
Megan, this verse, and subhanallah, this is amazing. That we should share things like this, It's not everything but the West is bad. When I was in this primary school, right, we always talk about Western decadence, right? The moral values of West is always bad, and and this is how we were taught when we were small, right? So not everything but the West is bad, but of course, many things that what happened in UK now, for example, we are imitating the Islamic concept about all these benefits and all this job seekers allowance.
Even on the tube, you see like things there, sexual assault.
Yeah. Everything about Islam that they copied. But it's just that we did not implement it enough for people to use a Muslim thing, right? Okay, so angels, yeah, of course, we have to believe the most important angels are for Jibril alayhi salam, Mikael, Israfil, and no Israel, Malak al Maut. Right? Israel is a huh? No, the main ones. The main four angels, because three of them was the one who went to Ibrahim, right? Who's the one that didn't go? No, Mikael, because we go there, it's finished. Finished, we go there. Right? Even Israfil went there because that time trumpet wasn't there in the mouth. Now he's very busy.
Isn't that Mikhail when he came down to Prophet Sallallahu
Listen, when?
when he said there was a door that has never been opened and
Yes,
opened today, and that was
yes.
Mikhail, and he came down and revealed Surah Al-Fatiha.
Fatiha. I think last two is Baqarah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, next one, believe in the books. And this is very important, right? Because a lot of people say they believe in the books, but they don't even follow anything else in the Quran. Because the Quran, if you know the Quran well, is divided into three, right? Tawheed, Day of Judgment, and the Prophets. Very straightforward, right? So if you look in the Quran, if you believe in the Quran, surely you know about the punishment of the Day of Judgment, and you get the news of delights of the and the paradise. Allah always put them side by side, the punishment and the promise of Allah. Yeah. Um, لا نجعل Surah what do you call it? Al Imran, right? Alif Lam Mim. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa nazala kitab bil haqqi musaddiqan bayna yaday wa anzala tawrata injil. Right? So Allah was saying about that the Quran is the truth, right? So it is the confirmation of the previous revelations, and then Allah was talking about the Injil and the Torah. Right? So this is very important that these are the books that we have to believe, right? Not just about the Quran itself. The only problem is that we have that all the previous books have been contaminated and has been corrupted and is can no longer be used at all. So we shouldn't. But for a person like me, I've never read the Bible. I shouldn't read the Bible in order to argue with people about the falsehood of the Bible, right? So it's very important that we understand this, right? We only argue with the strength of the Quran, which is Tawheed.
It's interesting. I was having a debate with this Jewish guy one time, and he said to me that you Muslims are not going to truly understand religion if you don't go back and understand Judaism, because
Yeah,
that's why it all began.
yeah.
So couldn't even get him that point. You couldn't even get him to the point where we actually leave our religion came before
Yeah,
Judaism. Prophets
yeah,
are sent before.
yeah. The rules are similar anyway, right? Okay. So this is important again, right? Is first of all to recite with the proper recitations. Whereas I said many times, if there's this local imam in Singapore, I don't know Singapore, and he was saying, "Alladhi halakal mauta wal hada." Halaka means to destroy, right? But khalaqal,
It's to keep alive.
yeah. So, so you're changing everything, right? And another imam was saying, "We are not perfect. We are not Arabs, right?" So they said the many kind of teen, not teen, right? So zaitun is the fruits, teen is clay, right? So you have to be careful. You don't change the meanings of the Quran. This is the first thing. Secondly, right? It must be read and understood. Is much worth it, Yusuf, to read, spend half an hour reading one page, then you spend half hour reading 10 pages and you don't understand anything at all, right? So this is important. Thirdly, right, we have to understand that it must be pondered upon, right? When Allah said, "Inna ladina amanu wal ladina hadu wa nasara wa sabin," all this regarding all these people will have no grief on the day of judgment. That doesn't mean the Jews and the Christians are going to be in paradise. But if then you need to ponder whatever it says because the Quran never contradicts each other. Right? Surely it does mean that people who eat Isa alayhi salam and they followed Isa alayhi salam's teachings properly, then they will enter Jannah. Today, all of us, whether you're believers or non-believers, all of us are Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even Isa alayhi salam, when he would come back, he will still not be right. You just have to follow because this is not his nation anymore. Okay. Next one, believe in messengers. Right. We have to believe in. We see what is the reason why Allah put all these messengers in the Quran.
The stories of the message,
Yes. Why?
for us to reflect.
Yes, for us to reflect and ponder what lessons can be learned. Right. So Yusuf, and it's not just being handsome. The English come out. You guys come up with the Jason and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, right? For entertainment. This is Joseph, sorry, Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, right? Just to make it entertainment. And then Jesus Christ Superstar, right? All these things are coming out. Are completely. You heard of it? No, these are these entertainments or these musicals and all this. Like, sorry, Adam. Even one. I don't know what story they put as. They put Jesus or sorry Allah as puppet and all this. completely. So that making think. In London, one of the museums and all this. I just saw the shots and all this, right? So this is very important that we look for us. Even we have to defend Islam, right? Not just Muhammad. We need that. This way of mocking the prophets, right? If you go to, I haven't been there, but I was told. If you go to Rome, right? What is the church called? The big, the cathedral, huh? The big one, right? Whatever it is. So in front of them, they have all this mocking Jesus, all these funny costumes and T-shirts, and all this, right? All these glasses. They make fun of Jesus, just ha ha ha, just for fun. Like, subhanallah, you don't even respect your so-called God, the Son of God, right? And this is how it is. People have evolved, right? So all these prophets are meant in the Quran for us to ensure you understood the reasons. For example, in Surah Yusuf, how was Surah Yusuf revealed?
What he did in the Egypt.
Hmm.
It was when they were abandoned in the hill countries.
How was it revealed?
Right.
Asbabul Nuzul.
The ayah
The whole surah, Asbabul
came
Nuzul.
down, came down
And about how, why, on what context?
because of when the sorrow, the year of sorrow.
Yeah, but what happened exactly? Then Allah revealed this. Exactly what incident happened? What was asked?
Prophet's son died. Was it?
No.
That's the moon and the eclipse.
The Quraysh was asked. The Quraysh asked Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, how did the children of Israel end up in Egypt? That's what is called as Babul Nuzul, the reasons for revelation, right? So then that's how the whole Surah Yusuf was revealed. But we shouldn't just. It's very interesting, right? Surah Yusuf, one of the best surah. But it's not just about that, right? You and me living in London, how can we learn from Surah Yusuf? About trust in Allah, about being patient. He was in prison, he's still doing da'wah, right? He's still enjoying to forbid evil, right? Many things can be learned from Surah Yusuf, which all of us must know, right? So, in terms of, for example, in Musa alayhi salam and Al Khidir, what must we learn from that?
Have trust in Allah.
Trust and be patient. Things are not as it is, right? So, Adam, for example, right? Inshallah, Allah will open up bigger doors for you when you're patient, right? So, shouldn't work in Soho, right? Should so so is this because as it is, right? I'm sure you know, right? Went to Umrah, did my tahajjud, did my due duties to Allah, right? Went to the mosque many times, and yet you still didn't get what you want. It's a huge test for many people, right? But there's always a wisdom. It will come. You will know it later. That's why Al Khidir always telling Musa, Azam, don't ask questions at all until I'm the one to tell you it. But of course, as human beings. So Musa was resembling the humans, always impatient. Why? You need to know why first. Then you'll be satisfied. Right? But why will always come later. We always say, don't worry, be trust Allah. It will come. But when it comes to you, it's different ball game. Right? You will struggle sometimes. Yet that's the hikmah of Allah's decision at the later stage. It's quite important we advise ourselves and remind ourselves of Allah's what do you call it? Allah's test, inshallah. Yet Allah doesn't say Inna Allah ma'as-sabirin. Allah is with the patient. That means Allah will continue to guide you as long as you are patient. Right? Um Even on the day of judgment, we discussed many times how people were not tested and they see the rewards of people being tested, all these things, many things, and they will say, "I wish I have scissors and knives to cut myself, so that I can get the reward of what these people have been rewarded." So always take Allah's test as a blessing more than as a test. We discussed in my topic on Saturday about being grateful to Allah. Brothers, we are grateful to Allah not just for the good things, for the bad things that happen to us. Perhaps Allah is trying to make us humble, trying to make us more. Perhaps Allah wants us to wake up. You know what I mean, right? Because in general, we only pray tahajjud when we need Him. After tahajjud, after He give us, we forget completely. This is when Allah gave us example of people who are trapped in the boat, right in the sea, in the middle of the sea. There's waves and all these storms coming in, and they always say, "Ya Allah, if you save me from this, I'll be a much better person. I'll be more devoted to you." But once After Allah saved them, they will go back exactly to where they were before. And this is something which all of us falls into the same category, right? So we should always be grateful to Allah whether it's good or bad. Okay, so the number for belief in the messenger is very important, that we completely believe in all the prophets of Allah, all the miracles that Allah has given us. What is a miracle in Arabic? Mu'ajizat. Yeah, mu'ajizat, that we're given the miracles, the miracles of Allah, right? Next one, belief in the akhirah. Yeah, the last day. Allah says in Surah number 4, 87, Allahu la ilaha illahu la yajma'anakum ila yawm al-qiyamah. He will get you together on a day of resurrection, if there's no doubt about it. It's a promise by Allah that all of us will meet Him for accountability, but to do as many good deeds as possible, right? We think that we can always delay. Yeah, many people actually have the thought that I'm going to go to Hajj only when I enjoy myself. I enjoy myself, do all these things, then I go to Hajj. Always remember, Hajj is an invitation to all. Only those who will be invited will go to Hajj. It doesn't matter whether you have money or not. Remember, I was telling the story. One of my students' mother was working for a royal family's servant,
Israel family or
Israel family. Every year they give Hajj to the servants and the helpers and all this to go to Hajj. So the servant went already 2 or 3 years before, and he was selected again. She was selected again, and he gave the Hajj ticket to this his mother and him. So he just went to Hajj this year without any knowledge or without. So that's why we have a 3 days, 2 days crash course online about how to do Hajj. So all I'm trying to say, never say I got no money. Anything can happen to you. Yes.
A question about Hajj. You know, if you pay a certain amount of money and it's like a random lottery,
Yes.
a woman going on Hajj, which is supposed to be Mahram, how does she go?
Sorry.
A woman selected to do Hajj,
Yes.
how does she go? She has to go to Mahram.
Well, there's an issue of different opinions, right? I know this because I've researched to this. I will ask different scholars, and I know one of the scholars here. Trust me very much. He was the one who was blind, remember?
the Imam? Oh, no, no, it someone else.
You do you know this? Right at the shoe rack there,
Uh,
a person. It was after 5 years. A person, well, so-called, want to know about Islam. It was just between him and the Imam here. Want to know about Islam. Then after that, he went to the shoe rack, and the person poked eyes, the fingers in the eyes, and he lost the eyesight. He was one of the biggest Imam scholars. So I was asking him about this issue of mahar and all, mahar, mahram, right, and all this. And he said, the issue of, as long as you have 2 or 3 or 4 sisters to go to the group, it's fine. He made a fuss about you must have a mahram. It's a national or personal choice that they make. It's not an Islamic decision, right? So as long as you have your group of sisters, 4, 5, 6 sisters together, that's considered as okay to travel, inshallah.
and is that
Again,
only
I think there's different opinion getting this.
is that only regarding Hajj and Umrah or anywhere like
Anywhere travel, okay or not, they say it's okay as long as you do it together, right? So again, there's different opinions in getting this. Okay, so believe in their judgments. Are we ready?
Alright. Sorry for choice of one.
We're fasting already. Are you ready to face Allah? Or are you ready to face Allah on the day of judgment?
Don't say again.
As you say, you got no choice. You can be called up tomorrow, right? You know, as I said, right, when I was in the army, below 45, every time they can call us up, they just put in on the TV your code, red sky, bluebird, whatever it is. Is that your code? Everything must be ready. It must be there within 1 hour. Ready with your packs and all this. Sound like with your packs and all this, ready to assemble. You cannot. I don't know where my things are. I need to.
even if you're in a different country.
Yes.
Chef, I mean, we as Muslims, we fear in the unknown, but imagine that's the thought.
Yep.
Like, they're just blindly walking into it.
Yes.
I mean,
Precisely.
today, for example, like, everyone knows, well, not everyone knows, but Hulk Hogan died today, and wrestler.
I don't know.
So
Oh,
if you die today, imagine like them.
they'd be
If you die
shocked.
today, yeah.
They'd be shocked.
So he's going to wake up and think there's no more Hulkamania or no more Mr. America and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
He's going to be
Subhanallah.
in total like, what the heck is this?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they know about Islam, they've heard about Islam,
yeah.
and to them that's even worse
Yes.
because they totally ignored it.
In the at this day and
Well,
age,
he even looked to,
yes,
yeah, he was a clear racist as
yeah.
well, and that's even getting worse. You know what I'm saying?
But at this day and age, in general, you cannot say that you do not know about Islam. It's all over the place, especially when the bombs, the people all accused of terrorism and Islam. I mean, no. But the thing is that, as you said yourself, whenever even I was giving da'wah, right, the people who doesn't know about Allah, you know what was in my heart? I said, Alhamdulillah, I don't have that. I'm not in this situation where I'm so confused about where's God, whether God exists. But Alhamdulillah, I have no doubt. And a poor, Allah guide these people, a lot of people who are having doubt about Allah first, right? That to have this doubt about Allah exists is a huge thing, right? You're completely ungrateful to Allah.
Oh, like
Exactly.
even the way the embryos born and were made and the earth and
Yeah. Who have seen everything in the world, right? From the whales to the snow to the Arctic, seen everything and analyzed everything. So because when you edit, right, you edit all these things, right? You saw everything. And yet you're not Muslim.
probably moments when you said apparently must have made it.
Yes, I suppose it's arrogance. I suppose.
You know, with
Right?
David Attenborough, apparently he could see a woman's breasts from far up high in the balloon, but he couldn't even see Allah's creation because apparently he's a pervert, isn't it? No, he's going to be a pervert.
Yeah.
Like they said that, I don't know, there were little pictures they took. They saw an ostrich bend over and they was like, where? And then they just saw a woman. They was like, where's an ostrich? Like, you know, he's a proper like pervert.
And no, that's
You know, the ostriches bend over like that. And he's like, oh, look at the ostrich. And they were like, where? And there was no ostriches. And there's a woman. And it's like, oh,
he has been in nature for months.
oh wow, he loved nature to another level. Like he probably was a naturist himself.
Right. So, yeah, so it's important that we, all of us, surely we have to understand the angel of death will come at any time, right? And it's up to us. Do we blame ourselves and not prepared? Do you have to blame ourselves? Of course. But all I'm trying to say, if you believe in this to the core, what we discussed today, you won't have any problems. Do you agree? Because you know it's coming. You know Allah. Allah give us everything, yet we're still not grateful to Allah. Yeah. So always remember, for example, to be grateful to Allah. The dua we discussed last Saturday about dua of Surah number 46, was number 15. Rabbi awzi'ni أن أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي وعلى والدي وأن أعمل صالحا ترضاه وأصلح في ذريتي إني تبت إليك وإني كنت من المسلمين. Right? Asking Allah to make you grateful for the things that Allah has given us, to make us what they call it, among the people who are doing good deeds for His pleasure. Many things about this verse which all of us must do it. Can you imagine, brothers? Even Ibrahim alayhis salam making dua to Allah to make him not commit shirk. Ibrahim alayhis salam, the father of Tawheed for me, right? Is Ibrahim alayhis salam. And yet he's still making the dua to Allah not to make him among those who worship idols. And what about us? We're finished if you don't make dua to Allah. So don't ever assume we're not committing shirk. Shirk can exist in many levels. Yeah.
You know, imagine the hadith of Rasulullah
Wassalam.
Aisha said, well, love you for your past and future sins. And he turned around and said, well, shouldn't I be a grateful servant?
Precisely.
And that's the so, you know,
Yeah. And he asks forgiveness at least 100 times a day to Allah. Yeah. So this is something which we need to look at ourselves, brothers. We shouldn't just look at others and judge others. Look at ourselves and see where we have to be critical at ourselves, right? Is your salah good? Is it the khushu'? Every single salah need to be scrutinized. You know why? Because we will be scrutinized on the day of judgment every single day we do, right? Is it accepted or is it not accepted? Okay. Last one, of course, is the belief in Qadar Allah. Yeah, Qadar Allah means that everything has been written down by Allah. Right? When? Before 3,000 before the creations of Adam, creations of heavens and the earth. Right? So the pen, according to one hadith, the pen was asked to write down. And the pen asked, what do I write down? He answered, Allah answered, whatever things is going to happen to my creations. Everything that happens then has been decreed by Allah. Why is it good thing for us to know this? Why must we know this? Qadar.
I feel it easier to think
Yes, to be contented, to feel that
be some
well.
sort of
Allah will
content.
be aware.
But of course, they cannot confuse this, right? Person with diabetes, for example, right? Eat all this, drink, eat many things, still drink coke and all this. It was Qadar of Allah anyway, right? Okay, I do, right? And this is people saying this, right? This in those days, people smoke, right? A lot of in those days, right? Oh, it's not in any hadith, in the Quran, right? That I get lung cancer and all this. And it's Qadar of Allah, I get lung cancer. But you're aiding the development of an illness that may be terminal, and you have to do you agree? Because the body that we are given is a trust from Allah, that we use it for the only purpose of worshiping Allah. That's the best thing. Yes.
Is there like two different others, like depending what you choose in life?
There's one's a qadar mubram and qadar muqayyad, right?
معلق.
Oh, sorry, and one is what is mubram?
Fixes, can't change.
They can't change. It's in the motherboard. It's been written down for you.
Like
There's everything that happened to you has been written down. But there are certain things that you do, for example, right? For
what
example,
would happen?
when you enjoy ties of kinship, what happened? Two things:
Increase
increase risk,
and
increase your
increase
lifespan,
lifespan.
right? Yeah. So this can be altered by the things that you do, your du'a and all this, right? But what? So this is when you cannot think too deeply. You just need to accept it. That's why you accept.
And I'm not forced trying to save the person. Oh, they're not forced effectively to do anything.
Yeah.
They're kind of pressured.
Yeah.
Like Allah's not forcing, he's not doing like the guns angels
Yeah.
friend. But he's forcing you to choose something you can't you can't think or make yourself think to choose whether or not you want to cure cancer because you don't have the knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's forcing you to have the limit.
Yeah. So, yeah. So in the sense that a lot of people have ask this common question, right? Do you ever feel in the beach and they say beware of sharks as they get right? Swim, swim, swim. Then chances are you're getting eaten by sharks quite a lot, really true? Because it's
You
written
actually try
clearly,
to wrestle.
right?
You actually try to wrestle.
Yeah.
There's always that guy out
Especially
there.
especially in Australia, right? They have these not just sharks, but they have these what crocodile in the sea, This is,
Torches.
I don't know how people can live in Australia, especially.
His parents went out to something so simple. The stingray.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
the crocodile, it wasn't the shark,
yeah,
it wasn't the rhino, the hippo,
yeah,
it wasn't the snake or the spider, it was just a simple
yeah,
stingray.
yeah, yeah. So choice, 100%, right? But of course, whatever things they choose to do, it has been written down. Agreed? I can just switch off, then I can go back now without saying salam. It's up to me. But everything I'm going to do is all written down by Allah. Right? So the qadr is very important. Still, things doesn't come near your way. Some right? Then you would be comforted that you have done your best. Allah has another plan. Okay, at the end of the day, we always think that we have the best plan. Allah. Sorry?
Meet the wife with the couple for me.
He made dua for a lot of money and cars in his umrah. Alhamdulillah.
You
Yeah,
know, actually, that guy who made the
Yeah,
dua
he
in
actually
Kaaba,
very rich. Yeah.
he's very rich now.
Alhamdulillah. But I hope let's hope he's still a Muslim.
Huh?
Let's say he's still a Muslim and
No,
still
he's still, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Right? But again, we always think to because at the end of the day, all of us looking for peace. Agreed? Whether you're rich, poor, right? Whether you are British, or whether you are Yemen, right? Malawians, right? Everybody's looking for peace, right? And but the peace, the path that you choose, right? Make sure the path that is to attain peace. Make sure the path that Allah is pleased with, right? Because many people fruit, not knowing that perhaps that will bring you away from Allah. How many stories did you hear in the Quran about people who are rich, but they are away from Allah? Many, a lot. So this money means that you will be peaceful in the for in this world, especially in this world. especially in the hereafter. Okay, so these are the 6 things that you need to understand. Why is aqidah is important? So this is called aqidah. Do you understand? Right? This is aqidah, the belief, that certainly in what you have in your heart. Right? Why is it important? Because first of all, it is the foundation of your Islam, of your belief. Because with your belief, you will do inshallah good deeds that will pleasing to Allah. Right? It is to guide your conduct. Right? This belief will leads to righteous actions. Say just now. You as the Muslims, if you have the correct aqidah, you will not be wrong. Because it is what Allah in the Quran and authentic hadith. Yeah. And it's this, what are the source of the authentic aqidah? It is from the Quran, from the hadith. Authentic. Can you imagine if Prophet Muhammad were here today? I got a problem. Let's see his WhatsApp. You send a message on WhatsApp Muhammad because he's alive today, right? Imagine with the companions. So easy. But we don't have. What we have are the things that I've left behind by in the hadith.
Like that, you know what I mean? Like,
Person
so
recording
many-
is available now.
do not respond.
Yeah, he blocked some of us.
Yeah. He's got an X sign like that. Just
Yeah.
non-existent.
Can you imagine if we are in his chat group?
He will leave from
That's,
the
that's
first,
anything.
from the first minute.
So
We would create like the timer and then he would post and then all of us just read.
Yeah, be like his one's private. You know, he can only message, you know, no one else can respond.
but there's a big but. Always remember when Prophet ﷺ was asked, Prophet asked the people, like, who has the most amazing faith? And then the companions say, oh, are they the angels? No, the angels are guided by Allah. They don't have the most amazing faith. Is it the prophets? No, the prophets have Allah. Allah chose the prophets, right? Islam, his heart was cleansed how many times? And twice by Zamzam, right? Then the companion says, well, is it us? Or do you have the most amazing? No, you have me. But the most amazing faith are those who will come after you. They have nothing to rely on except the Quran and the books. They're the most amazing faith. This is what we have. But if we don't stick to this, we will be misguided. We will be not on the right path. So very important to understand this completely, this aqidah.
Sorry,
But
where is the most merciful?
most amazing faith. Because we have nothing to rely on. Why should I rely on Allah? This is the Quran anyway, right? Why should I rely on Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Because it's just the hadith. It can be anything. But with faith Allah put in our heart, we believe in everything, right? Allah said. We don't even ask. We have been taught in the Quran, Sami'na, what we hear and we obey. Not Sami'na wa asayna, which the Jews are believing,
That's our neighbors.
which we never.
Yeah.
Okay. So next week, inshallah, we're gonna continue with this, right? But we're gonna yes, inshallah,
I'll try.
right?
I'm not waiting.
And we're gonna talk about the Ashari school. We're gonna talk about these Mu'tazilah. We're gonna talk about what do you call it? The last one, right? Maturidis, right? We're gonna talk about it. But because we do need to be careful about what they believe, because sometimes that's why I was wondering, how come this Quranic interpretation is different, right? They put, as I said, the Kursi is different as a power and all this. Then I know, okay, there's different school of Aqidah, which you, right? Yes, yes, inshallah.
So next Thursday.
It's so easy and important just to realize that you know who you're dealing with straight away.
Yes,
It's so important.
yeah.
It's like when people say Asma, that's what you're talking about. People don't realize the red cap is already.
I didn't know that. Yeah, yeah.
It's already Ashari.
Not all of them, the majority are.
No, you know when they graduate, they wear a red cap.
No, but still,
That's the graduation. That's the Ashari one. The Ashari. But you know, some people like India who don't wear it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That never wears it.
Whereas I know somebody who just there for a few courses in a few months, they very quickly wear this. No? Okay. Right? Whether you choose the right or wrong aqidah, you will never be led astray if you get Allah's guidance. Agreed? The most important thing is Allah's guidance, and of course, to prevent ourselves from shaitan to infiltrate our minds. The two things work hand in hand. If you're guided by Allah, shaitan can never protect you. But at the same time, if you slip in your guidance and you do not ask, shaitan will always come to confuse you. Yeah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our knowledge of Aqeedah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our faith in Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow all of us to be doing good deeds that be pleasing to Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our ability to ask of His forgiveness and grant all of us Jannat al-Firdaus. Subhanaka wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala mursalin alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Inshallah on Saturday. Yeah.